Hey guys, welcome to the new year. You guys probably are seeing now that our first 2019 episode is already up on YouTube, and that would be our January compilation video. So this is the promised Revell 2019 sneak peek, quick view, however you want to look at it. This does, of course, only cover the Revell in Europe as far as the release dates and the kits. We have not seen any specific movement on the Revell US side of things in terms of what they plan to bring to market, if it's anything even different than what I'm about to tell you about here. I'm assuming it will be, because several of the reissues that are going to be mentioned in this video are Revell Germany specific. They're not U.S. kits. They've never been issued in the United States in terms of being reboxed like a lot of Revell Germany kits have been over the years. So I assume that we're going to get something a little bit different here in the United States in terms of at least reissue kits. This is not a very big list. It's kind of hard for me to be all like, like I am a lot of times in videos, because this list was leaked via Hanitz, a UK model distributor, by accident 2 weeks ago. So I've seen this list already, but now I can tell you that officially this list exists in terms of stuff. Now remember that Revell of Germany, or Revell in Europe, of course, there's a wide variety of model kits. So if you're interested in the IPMS angle, as it were, in boats and planes and tanks, there are a number of those coming out in 2019 for Revell in Europe as well. However, of course, we are an automotive channel, and we're not going to just cover those. You can very easily do a search on the interwebs for the IPMS in Germany, the IPMS Deutschland website, and you can, I would link it in the description, but doing it on my phone is a pain in the tokus. And then just click on their news section, and the first thing on there is going to be the Revell 2019 release list. So that being said, there's only 2 new tools, at least so far for 2019, in terms of what Revell in Europe is going to be doing. I don't suspect either one of them necessarily will be reboxed for the United States. One of the things on here is a modified reissue of a US tool, which we alluded to in some recent videos. I do have a stash report, one for the end of the year, but I can't upload it in this truck stop. I've been trying for literally the past 12 hours, and I can't get the uploader to go past 10% because the internet connection here stinks, which is partially why we're also doing this on my phone, because even though my phone only has like 2 bars of service, it's much faster than the internet that I paid $6 for. I'm just so happy to start out the new year this way. I was hoping by choosing a different truck stop chain, I would get a different truck stop Wi-Fi experience, and I have been denied. So, that being said, let's take a look at the list. I'm reading off a computer over here, so if I look off camera, that's what I'm doing. I will leave several things on here for the end in terms of kits, because they are just being, our US kits being reissued or issued, frankly, for the first time in Europe, and not to, leave our European friends out, but these are kits that really, for us here in the United States, wouldn't be, anything of particular interest in paying the higher re-importation charges to get the kit back, as it were. So they're going to reissue, and I'm just going to read you basically the entire list here of all scale stuff. Their 1/8 scale BMW R75 motorcycle with a police livery. Their 1/12 scale Yamaha 250 DT1 motorcycle. Reissue their 1/16 scale Porsche 928. That kit's of a little bit of interest if you like the larger scale kits, simply because that kit was done in 1981 and it has never been reissued. So it is one of those things where it's not, I don't know necessarily how rare a kit it is per se. It is one of those weird things where the Porsche 928 was done in a number of different scales outside of what we consider normal scale. There's a 1/16 scale Revell, there's a 1/20th scale Tamiya, there is a 1/24th scale Revell kit, there is a 1/24 scale Fujimi kit, and things like that. But at the time, that Porsche 928 got put into a lot of unique scales, for lack of a better term. They're also going to reissue their Volkswagen T1 Samba bus in 1/16 scale. Now, that kit only came out in 2015. There's some sort of attachment to this that maybe an anniversary edition or something. It says reissue technique, and I don't know what that means because the kit's not a snap-tight kit, Technic. So I don't know exactly what that refers to, but that's getting reissued. They're going to reissue their 1/24th scale Benetton B194 F1 car in a 25th anniversary paint set. So you're going to get basically the paint, the model kit in the model kit itself for the 25th anniversary of this car. It is, from what I can see, the only 1/24th scale version of this kit. I suspect the people in Germany have seen the, if not success, the certain, there's a word there, it was in my head and left, the certain just resoluteness of Hasegawa reissuing all their 1/24 scale F1 and F3 cars. So apparently they're just going to jump on, at least for just a little thing, for, just like I said, it's a tie-in to a paint set for 25th anniversary of the F1 car. So if you're interested in those smaller scale F1 cars, another one will come back. I believe that is a Revell tool from 1995. It doesn't seem to have any kind of specific tie-in to Hasegawa, as Hasegawa didn't do that specific F1 car. So the rest of these things, let's see, we talked about this the other day, the Busing 1800 heavy truck is coming back out in March. That is going to be a limited edition reissue. Expect that price to be in the $150 range. That is just what those kits are costing these days. They're going to, we mentioned, reissue the Porsche 934 RSR with a Martini Tribute livery. That's going to be out in February. They're reissuing the Unimog, which is going to be coming out in January. It's another limited edition. Let me see here. What else? For small scale fans, they're going to reissue the Kiss Tour truck in 1/32nd scale. So that's going to also have a paint set attachment to it. So in the 1/24 scale stuff that is specific to Europe, there is going to be a reissue, if you will, of the Ford Model T 1913 Roadster. That is going to be a rebox of the ICM kit. I know for certain people I was talking to who live in countries outside of the United States where we don't pay like ridiculous amounts of postage fees or import VAT and all that stuff that some of our European friends do, that the rebox in the Revell of Germany kit may make it somewhat cheaper for other people to acquire. Now you can buy those ICM kits on eBay through Ukraine distributors, and some of them are ICM directly, sales directly, for about $28 to $32, sometimes even less when they're trying to move them, with shipping in the $10 range, so you can get to pick up those kits for, somewhere below $40. This will probably, for us here in the United States, would cost about, $35, $40. So that's going to sort of even it out. And frankly, for us here in the United States, getting ICM kits is relatively easy. Even my local hobby guy, he buys ICM kits. So if I wanted to buy one of these, I could just go to the shop and pay, $35, $38 for it. We here in the United States, I don't think you're necessarily going to see any kind of benefit to that, but for everyone else, that may be something if you've been looking at those kits but didn't want to pay the prices that you're faced with locally. There's going to be a new 1/24 scale tractor, and I'm hoping I pronounce this right. I believe it's Deutz D30, or it might be Dutz, but I'm assuming that since it's spelled like Deutschland without the schland at the part, it's D-E-U-T-Z. Anybody wants to fix that, go ahead. I'm willing to learn on that one. But I believe that's Deutz D30. It's going to be another snap-tight 1/24 scale tractor, so this is something to go along with your Porsche 108 Junior tractor. Same sort of thing I would expect to be, full detail but snap-tight. They're going to be doing a brand new, all-new tool, Land Rover Series 3. That is a 1970s Land Rover, the vehicle prior to the Land Rover Defender being a thing. From the pictures that they were showing through their newsletter, it is a long wheelbase vehicle, not the short wheelbase. So this is not the old monogram kit being reissued. I don't know whatever happened to that. If that tooling got destroyed or what the situation is with that. But that kit only came out one time in 1981. It has never been reissued. It was a short wheelbase, not a long wheelbase, and so it remains to be seen. They're insisting that this is a new kit, new tool. It is the only, other than the Deutz tractor, but that's listed on here, this Easy Click, which is their snap-tight system. It's the only new tool in automotive on this list, so I would believe that it will be a new tool. The question will be what kind of level of build we're going to get out of this, because it is being listed as a level 3 on that level 1 to 3, 1 to 5 thing that Revell is on now, which has nothing to do necessarily with the actual skill level involved, but more to do with how many parts there are. Here in the United States, a skill level 3 would be a prepaint. So it remains to be seen what that's going to be about exactly in terms of what we're going to get on the end. Example of that would be the Ford GT, the Le Mans car, the kit that was just issued, is at level 4 and it only has 88 parts. So I'll be personally interested to see what we're going to get out of this. And it's not like I don't buy curbside 50-part kits all the time, but new tool, Revell Europe of Germany, there's a certain level of expectation, for me at least, of what these kits used to be like when they were doing the Mini Cooper, the Volkswagen Beetle, and the Trabants, the Citroen 2CV, and all those other kits that came out at the end of the 2000s, the beginning of 2010s. In terms of, those kits were Tamiya fighters, basically, in terms of quality, parts content, detail, and all that stuff. And then, Habico bought them out, the quality slid ass backwards into the dump, and, it's just the first full year of the new Revell. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. This may be something that was already in the works. There was mention of it last year, but then not. So, it's one of those things where this is probably something that the Habico Revell of Germany was working on already, and so you have to deal with that. Lastly, of the new stuff, and I assume we will get a U.S. box of this probably before they do, I would assume. I don't know, maybe it'll be a global release, is a 1970 AAR CUDA. This will be based off of the newer, or the current, however you look at it, Revell U.S. CUDA tool. I presume that nothing is going to be fixed in terms of the body's issues. Looks like, to me at least, not being a Mopar expert by any stretch of the imagination, that all of the things that you would change to take the CUDA into an AAR CUDA would be engine drivetrain related, as well as wheels, hood, spoiler, things like that. Nothing that would require the actual body molding or body tooling itself to actually be modified in any way, I don't think. Like I said, there may be something there that I'm missing looking at pictures, but it seems like, the fact that it was a 340 6-pack and the hood's different and things like that would be your differences between what the kit was when it came out and this modified reissue. So again, if there's something about the side of that kit that's different than the side of a regular CUDA, let me know, because I've asked around, and so far I haven't seen anybody say, oh yeah, by the way, there's this big ass difference. It would require them to retool the fender flares and make the roof of the car. Although I would assume a lot of people have a problem with where the roof of the car is and where the character line of the rear fenders is, unless there's a reason that the upper part of the cavity would need to be fixed. That roof ain't going nowhere, folks. Sorry to tell you. And then we have, like I said, the other stuff that is on here that would just be U.S. kits that are being reissued in Germany. The 1956 Chevy Custom, that is an old monogram kit, like a street machine, kind of dragsterish kind of thing. You guys have seen it before. It was in the reissued not that too terribly long ago in the United States in the monogram branded boxes of kits that they were doing. They were sort of like easier kits that they were aiming kind of at a youth market. They're also going to be reissuing the 1955 Chevrolet convertible with an Indy pace car tie-in. I believe that would be the first time that has had that tie-in and those decals since the original kit was released back in the early 1990s. They're going to get their version of the 1966 Chevelle kit, the brand new U.S. tool that was just released before Christmas. That's going to be February for them. So again, you would think that if the AR CUDA is going to be a U.S. release specifically and not just a Revell global release, that we may get the AAR here a couple of months earlier than Europe will. Europe is, I believe, set to get it somewhere in July, so we might get it in the spring or just the summer in general. We'll have to see exactly what Revell US's plans are for that. Reissue of the 2014 Corvette Stingray, reissue of the 2017 Raptor Build and Play, reissue of the 125th scale Snap-Tight Kenworth W900, reissue of the Shelby Mustang GTH, the 2006, the newer Mustang, Revell tool, and let me make sure that I'm not leaving anything out. Nope, that's it. So that is the Revell 2019 list as it stands. I would assume that nothing from Revell US was going to come out today. I did go look at their website, the newly done Revell USA website, which is still Revell.com. Obviously, that website has been revamped to mirror more or less the German site in terms of its layout and its fonts and scripts and pictures and things like that. A lot of people were kind of cranky about it when it was first floated because, you know, this wasn't there, that wasn't there. I will say that the organization of the kits, as they're broken down by category, has been fixed a little bit. The Porsche 918 is still some reason in the street rod category. Maybe they consider it a street rod in Germany. I can appreciate the irony of that since it really doesn't fit anywhere else. But what has been done, at least towards the end of this year, that wasn't done at the beginning of this month when it went live, was that it appears that the PDF files for the instructions are back attached to the kits they belong to. That was one of those things that sort of evaporated when the website went down. They're not a big list. You can't search them anymore. You have to go through each individual kit, and there'll be a link to the instructions within it. That is the way the Revell Germany website is organized as far as their directions and their kit PDF files for their directions. So it makes sense that it just mirrors the way they do it, and so that it is a united global front now that there is no, you know, there's a Revell USA LLC that is their U.S. distributor, but there's, you know, just the Revell in terms of everything being a unified company going forward. So anyway, guys, I don't know how thrilling that is to you. It depends on how you look at a Land Rover, another Snap-Tight tractor to go with your Junior and your Heller Ferguson. Although I think that pretty much everybody, because it's one of those kits that I would consider getting myself. I've still never gotten one of the new tool CUDAs. Nothing specifically because, oh my god, the body's so awful I can't stand it. I mean, I know it's wrong, but then that's just what you deal with Revell kits anyway of that era. You know, famously, people have told people at Revell that it was wrong, and they went, well, this is what we have, started shrugging their shoulders and moved on because, of course, the financial situation was what it was. But I would, you know, an AAR CUDA, man, you know, why not? You could talk me into it. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm babbling because I'm bored and I can't get to the internet to work. So, hope you guys had a safe New Year's holiday. If you imbibed or whatnot last night, my kids, who are, you know, still in their single digits, except for my oldest, managed to actually pull an all-nighter, as it were, and stay up till midnight, where they probably wanted to go to bed. So, I mean, they've got their first official New Year's Eve in of their lifetime, so that was kind of fun for them. And like I said, looking forward to a great 2019. Hope you are too. See you guys on the other side.